Welcome everybody, man. Thank you for tuning in to Sway 73 TV. It is me, Uncle E. And please do me a favor and take a couple of seconds and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Leave me a comment as well, whether it's good or bad. Either way, I appreciate you taking the time to do so. It's all welcomed. And I look forward to interviews with people like the person that I have on today, because not only do they enjoy and love the same culture that I do, which is hip hop, they live it, they breathe it. But it's also to see the growth, right? It's very hard in this time and age to break. It was hard before, but I still feel it's hard because with the internet and there's so much going on, it's so flooded. It's really hard to break through the noise, the algorithms, and this and that, and finding your lane and finding your niche. And this gentleman here, ULTRAMAG, I feel has done so. He's reached certain levels that I feel a lot of people would like to reach, man, because sometimes even just having people that we looked up to mention them in their space.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that, because I was like, oh, man. I was like, that's dope. I have to ask him, how did he feel? But we'll get to that. But none other than ULTRAMAG7 is joining me today, man. How you doing? How's everything with you?
Good, Uncle E. I'm good, brother. And thank you for having me on, brother. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this. Just seriously to holler at you and, get to know you. So thank you for bringing me on, brother.
Nah, of course, man. That's what I, well, ever since I started doing this, I've always tried to provide, like I said, I love having artists on, I love having legends on and speaking to them, but I always feel like there should be a platform for people like yourself, people like myself, you know what I mean? That sometimes might not be able to get like that big platform to be able to talk about what we do.
Right.
And I just, to me, that's always been important. So I always love to share my platform like that.
Thank you.
But, man, first of all, I was telling you behind the scenes, I'm going to take an opportunity to tell you now, congratulations on everything you've been doing.
Thank you, sir.
I've looked back a little bit to what before you got to where you are and seen the growth. So just congratulations on that. I don't know how you manage to do everything you do besides the videos, and you have, I think, what is it, like 2 or 3 podcasts that you work on? Or is it more than that?
It's a couple things.
A couple of things you got going, yeah. So I don't know how you do it, but we'll talk about that. But do me a favor, man. Before we talk about everything you're doing nowadays, take me back a little bit to who ULTRAMAG before the Ultra is. You know what I mean? Coming up, I know you're from Jersey, right? Born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I'm from South Jersey, so 15 minutes from Philly.
Okay.
So I grew up on Philly hip hop, Philly radio. So I don't know if you know Lady B.
Okay,
yeah. So Lady B, WKDU, Drexel. Actually, it was ironic. When I was a kid, I used to listen to the station WKDU.
Okay.
The DU stands for Drexel University. I ended up going there to college later.
Okay.
But
Nice.
all that type of stuff. Everybody knows Tough Crew, Schoolie D, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, MC Bree. I could go on for days.
Yeah.
But that's my background. That I grew up on that hip hop.
On that hip hop. So, being that you were so close to Philly, and you just mentioned like sort of everything that was happening as far as what you were consuming and seeing. What about as far as Jersey itself? You know what I mean? And the scene, what was going on at that time. What year are we talking about? And again, keep in mind that I just wanted to put some of these things in perspective for those who are not familiar, you know what I mean, with some of the things we might mention, and especially for people overseas. But like, what year are we talking about?
So, I mean, me getting into hip hop, it was, I'm on record. So, I wasn't in the Bronx. I wasn't in the Park. So the first things I'm hearing is like Sugar Hill Gang, Fatback, King Tim III, all of that. Then when it started playing on radio, but so it was all these. I would hear the New York songs and everything. So so that early stuff is 79, 80, 81, 82, going up. I think Lady B got on the radio. She was first on it was like AM radio. So that was like 82 or something. And then 83 Power 99 came, and then she got on that radio station. But like the scene in Jersey, it was mostly we were listening to Philly stuff. Especially so You ever heard of Camden, New Jersey?
Yeah.
So Camden
Yeah.
is like, if Philly is 15 minutes, Camden is 10 minutes because they're right, they're right across the bridge. So, you would see people coming to Camden High performing. I think we had the Crown Rulers, if you know, Kick the Ball and B-Boy Document.
Okay.
So, and I was also, the town next to me where I grew up was Willingboro, New Jersey. So we had like Courageous Chief, Z3 MCs, and no, well, not Z3 MCs. It was BZ3. It was a song called We're Troopers. If I forget something BZ23.
That
something
one I
like
don't
that.
remember.
it was on Strong City. So Jazzy J put it out.
Yeah.
Pardon, Jersey. Pardon me for getting the name mixed up.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
But it really we kind of more looked to Philly. That was, it's like Jersey is weird. Like South Jersey, it doesn't seem like many people really, really took off. Then you go to Central Jersey, you get like YZ, Poor Righteous Teachers, all that type of thing. And then obviously North Jersey, everybody knows, Flavor Unit, Redman, Naughty, all that type of stuff.
Naughty and all of that. Yeah.
But so actually I was always a fan of hip hop. Like just, I can't wait to hear the next song, tape the new tape, be the guy to go to school, got the new tape, I got everything. Around 89, this guy came to my town, this dude named Nyreek, and the bus stop was outside of his house. And so I remember getting on the, waiting for the bus stop. I had my headphones on, I'm banging my music. I had like, I think I remember this day, I was listening to Positive K. I was listening to Step Up Front because it goes there. I was listening to Step Up Front. And I got on the bus and I had to scratch my ears. So I took off my headphones and I hear somebody like loud and they playing Ultramagnetic. That's my favorite. That's the name ULTRAMAG7. It's my favorite group. And so I'm like, who's that? But it's the dude that was at the bus stop that was outside his house. So me and him became super cool friends, super cool. And then he said he wanted to start a rap group because he rhymed. I didn't rhyme at the time. So he had a DJ and I'm like, so what do you want me to do? He's like, I want you down. I'm like, okay. So I was artistic. I used to draw and everything. So I said, this is around time when Daylights album came out. Remember they had the drawings inside, all the cartoons.
The 3 Feet High and Rising.
Yeah. So I was you got a DJ, you got an MC. I'm gonna be the AD. I'm gonna be the art director. So I used to take these paint pens and draw these shirts, and we used to wear them to like the teenage clubs. Like we look like a rap group, but we ain't had no songs out. And then one day he was like, "Yo, you gotta rhyme." I'm like, I gotta rhyme. I didn't know how to rhyme. And he used to play these. We used to get these 45 King instrumental tapes. And he just be like, "Yo, just rhyme." So I'm like, I learned to start rhyming like freestyling because I didn't know how to write bars. So that was like 89, 90. So we started like a little rap group, but
Okay, but wait, why was he so adamant about you rhyming? He just wanted to have like a partner. Like he didn't want to be the only one rhyming, or.
I think he wanted a part. Yeah, some people. I think he wanted a partner. Like he didn't want to necessarily be a solo. And he saw the passion that I had. Like he knew that, this guy knows his stuff. So, he just pulled it out of me. So peace to my man, Nice, because he's the one that got me started.
How far did that go as far as that group right there?
Here's what's funny. This is what was great about it. So our DJ was my man. DJ Super Brown Bum, and both of these guys, they still do music now, which is great. So he used to take us to studios. We would get our little work, whether we had jobs or asked the parents for money. We go in the studios. So I learned how to operate in the studio early, but I was the oldest, so I went to college. So I went over to Philly to college. The next year, Nice had graduated, and like a little bit before that, Choke, Super Brown Bum, he had moved up to like Newark, North Jersey. So like the group kind of just separated itself.
Gotcha.
But we all still kept on doing music, doing our thing. So We just
Okay,
weren't.
okay.
When you don't see people every day.
Right. So
Yeah.
did you keep on after that happens? What's going on with you as far as MCing?
So when I went to college, just being around people at school, at Drexel University, different ciphers, people rhyming and doing stuff. I think like '93. My brother was living in LA. And then we had a friend of ours that we grew up with, Bruce for DJ Spoon. Shout out to DJ Spoon. And
Okay.
I went out, I think it was like Easter break. And I flew out to
Okay.
Cali and we were working on demos. And it was like, yo, we taking pictures, we go, getting glossies, we gonna get signed, I'll get signed. Um,
Right.
yeah, the stuff was whack. No, it wasn't whack. It just, it didn't happen. So
Okay.
kept on, just still making demos, making music. And then I think it was around, so then I met this dude that I knew in school, Big Jim Slade. And me and him, he this is after school was finished. He had a crib and I used to go over his house and hang out over
Uh,
there. So he would have all type, like, I don't know, you remember the Mountain Brothers from Philly? Asian dudes, three Asian dudes.
yeah.
So,
So,
Chops from the Mountain Brothers would be at his house.
okay.
Lewis Logic, like it was, and Lewis was working with Vinny Paz. So all these people were like, hanging
Right.
around. And so we were working on demos. And what happened? We went down to South Street in Philly. They had a Tower
Okay.
Records, and this is back in the day before cell phones. We used to, I used to write down albums that I wanted to get. So I used to write it in my
Okay.
wallet on a piece of paper. And
Okay.
so there was this female MC out of New York called Princess Superstar, and it was weird to me. Well, not weird, but it was intriguing to me because number one, she was a female MC, but she was white, and I'm like, yo, I don't
I
remember
don't
another
remember.
white female MC except Tari B. So I was like, what did
Tari
she?
B. Okay.
I was like, what
Yeah.
did she got to say or
Uh,
whatever? And then
right.
I say this because she's still my friend, but she was on the cover and she was painted in all gold. She had a bikini on with high heels and she's walking down like the Manhattan street and she was looking kind of good. So I was like, yo, I gotta get this CD. So I, we were on South Street. I purchased the CD and we went back to my man Slade's crib and we're listening to it. And he's like, yo, we were like, yo, this stuff is kind of good. And he looked on the back. She had her own label. So he was like, yo, we should send her some of our stuff. I was
Right.
like, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. He sent her a package. And then she sent back like a note saying, my label is really a vehicle to get me off the ground. But, so I'm not really signing people. But
Okay.
I'm working on my new album. If you have any beats, send some beats.
Send them over.
So he had sent her some beats and she was like, yo, I want to use some of this stuff.
Mm.
So he hit me up. He's like, yo, I'm going up to Manhattan to this, the studio with her. I'm like, yo, I'm going with you. Because I had heard this song that she did with this dude, Paul Barman. And I
Okay.
really liked how they went back and forth. And I had this crazy idea. I wanted to do this song where it was me and her. You remember that game Parappa the Rapper on PlayStation?
Yeah.
I wanted to battle me and her battle Parappa the Rapper. I don't know how we was gonna do this, but this is how my mind works. So,
How you?
bro,
Okay, go ahead.
the logistics of it was gonna be crazy, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I met her. She was real cool, and while we're in the studio, she played me this song. She was like, "Yo, you think you got a hook for this?" I was like, "Yo, give me a couple minutes." So I came up with a hook. She was like, yo, say it. She liked it. So she was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's going on the album. So I'm like, I said to my man, I'm like,
Just like that.
we just met her and like, yo, we both got placements on the album. You got a beat and I did a chorus.
Mm.
So she and I became like super cool friends. I would come up. She lived in the Lower East Side at the time. I would hang at her crib, go get pizza, go to record stores, just hang out. We became really, really cool friends. And so the whole time she's working on the album, she's rhyming to me, telling me rhymes. She's like, yo, I got a song with Kool Keith. High and Mighty's doing a song, J Zone's doing a song, Bahama D. I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, she's done with the album. And obviously you can't take all these people on tour with you. They got their own careers. She was like, yo, you want to be my hype man and do their parts? I'm like, oh, of course. So, so we started rehearsing and, rehearsing for the show. I met at the time, it was my man Alexander Technique. He's still out there DJing, doing his stuff. Peace to Alexander Technique.
Okay.
We had a bass player, Walter, and then she and I were the MCs. Obviously, she did more MCing than me, but she had about 4 or 5 guest songs that I would be on that she was promoting this album. So
Right.
I was a prominent part of the show. And, so that was good. What happened was, everything started rolling and she had a tour in the UK.
Okay.
And we were rehearsing for the tour, and September 10th, I was in Manhattan. We obviously know what happened September 11th.
Right.
Luckily, it got late that night, and she was like, yo, you can stay at my crib if you want to go home. But nah, I ended up going home. Then I woke up the next day, and we know what happened.
And yeah.
So what was crazy was we were flying out to do the tour in October, so like a month later. You know how the flights, it was
Everything
crazy at the time.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So we end up, we start to do the tour, but what happened, because of 9/11, a lot of the shows got canceled.
Right.
So let's just say I was going to make this much money. I made this much money. So, I had a job. So when I got back, I couldn't take, it was a whole month. So I got off from my job, but when I got back, I told her, I said, yo, I got to quit this because it's unstable. Bro, quit it. She found somebody. She understood. She found somebody else. I lie to you not, bro. It was like 30, 45 days later. Her song becomes a hit in the UK. Like, we're talking top 15. Like, it's in rotation. She had a song, Bad Babysitter, with High and Mighty. Huge in the UK. So I'm happy for my friend. I love her to death. That's my homegirl.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but here's the thing. The dude that took my place was kind of like, at the same time, trying to sell him instead of like, yo, this is her show. Just do the show, do your thing, whatever. He's trying to
push himself.
He's trying to push himself. And then so one of the tours she got off, she said, because we would still talk. And she was like, yo, you ever think about coming back? I was like, wow, what's up with dude? She's like, he's okay, but you're better. Bro, I went to the job. I gave him 2 weeks.
Because now right? Now you see.
Bro.
Right.
Gave my 2 weeks. Bro, we talking buses, like, tour buses. We was on TV shows. We did festivals. I did shows with David Bowie, like he was the headliner, but we were on the main stage. We did Coachella back when it was Coachella. Like this is like 25 years ago, like 2001.
Okay.
But we did a lot of my idol is Kool Keith, so we did a video for the song she did with him. I got to meet him. He was snapping on me. It was great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, you want to get snapped on by a Kool Keith, right?
Yeah.
How so you were a big fan of, I mean, we'll continue with what you're saying, but I'm just curious. You're a big fan of Ultramagnetic. You get to meet Kool Keith.
Yeah.
You just said he's snapping on you, all of that, but how was that experience? Like, did it live up to your expectations as far as like what you might have thought how he was going to be and everything, or?
They say you should never meet your idols.
Right, that's what I'm asking.
It surpassed it. It was
okay.
So it was. The video's still out there. If you see the video, the song's called Keith and Me. It's Princess Superstar. There's a part you'll see she punches me and I get socked in the jaw. It's Hollywood though. But being with Keith, we got to shoot the video with him. Afterwards, we went to have lunch and we had like these tables set up and I was at the table right next to him. So he's just like catty corner for me. So this is what's crazy. This was like 2001. and I was still now it's Brooklyn, but I'm a big New Jersey Nets fan. So, and this is when they're in the finals versus the Lakers. So, and we're in LA,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this
yeah.
shooting the video. So I got this Dr. J Nets jersey, and Keith is just snapping on me like, "Yo, bro, why are you wearing that? This, that, and other thing." But it, in a good way. But he was so good, man. He was funny, and Keith. Keith is like everybody thinks he's crazy. He's not as crazy as you think, but he's off a little bit. Like
Right.
he's his own person. Like he's
Yeah,
truly
yeah,
unique. But what was funny was, he's snapping on me about all the stuff in New Jersey. Then we did a show with him like the next day, and
Okay.
he comes to the show with a New Jersey Devils hockey. I'm like, "Yo, what's up with this?" And he's just like, "Yeah, man, I know." Like I'm like, "Come on, man." So, but yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
Keith,
cool, man.
Keith lived up to everything. That's I'm so
That's
glad I
cool.
got to meet him, man.
Now, you just met, did you meet or have you met Said G as well?
No, I have not met Said G. I have not met Said G.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to meet Said G.
Yeah. Now, I was just wondering, I know Keith was already like doing his thing,
Yeah.
as far as solo. Man, that's cool. So what ends up happening as far as with you and her and that whole thing?
Okay, so we go through that whole album. It was a nice run. The album has its life, and so it's coming to an end, and it's like she's got to work on the next album. So this could take years or whatever. So but after kind of like that experience being like it was so big, like I wasn't signed to anything just for her, getting paid and performing. So
okay.
My experience in the music business wasn't bad, where everybody's jaded. You know what I mean? So that was good. But after that, she started working on the next album, but she was kind of going in a different direction, meaning she wasn't going to have the same makeup of the same people that she had to perform with. So
okay.
She started working on the next album, and then she it's one thing I regret. I guess I could still do it, but she was working on the next album, and she wanted me to do like some voice work for the album. So she had an album called My Machine. So the intro, I do some voice work, and I start, I didn't think till later. I was like, "Yo, why not do some voice acting? Like I should have." That was part of my resume. Like, "Yo, I was on this album."
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it kind of So after that, when we kind of were doing our last shows, I was like, I didn't want to start from the whole bottom again, doing like my stuff. Like after I've been at this height, now I'm gonna go back to being on vans and doing spot dates. I said, so I kind of just I stopped rhyming. I just went to the private sector, found a career, got a job, and was like, okay, did that until 2025. But that's nothing.
Until 2025.
Till 2025. Till this day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big gap. But now, in between, so between then, and we'll talk about 2025, but between then to now, were you still writing? Were you still just for yourself? Or did you just stop?
It's crazy. I completely stopped. I didn't even
Okay.
I didn't write stuff on paper, notes, or nothing. I just listened. I didn't write anything.
Okay. Okay.
Stop.
Did you ever besides that whole stint that you just talked about, did you dabble in anything else besides the rhyming? Did you DJ, breaking, graffiti, anything? I mean, you say you used to draw.
Okay. When I was so starting out with hip hop, we talk about the different elements of hip hop. The very first thing I was into was graffiti, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't get up. I was a toy, and it was like the town I lived in. It was like a very well-to-do town. So if you was getting up, you was gonna be locked to be under the jail. So, but we used to get that book Subway Art. I think Martha Cooper read it.
Yeah.
So I'm in there checking hand style. So I would do like a lot of stuff in black books. After that, I got it. B-boying was big back then, so everybody was trying to do that stuff. So I was trying to do some B-boying. DJ, and I never. If I mix records, it sounds like horses galloping. So I'm not. I remember my man. He had turntables, and
Yeah.
there was something about the fader. I couldn't move the fader the same time as his, to scratch.
The
But he,
co the coordination of it, like with the
it was something
yeah
like,
yeah yeah
yeah,
yeah.
something like that. But he had one of those Radio Shack realistic mixers,
Okay, okay.
but it had a line switch. But I could move the line switch real quick, so I was transforming with the line switch.
Okay, okay. Hey, at
Yeah,
least you tried, man. That's cool. So
yeah.
what about did you ever do anything with the drawing though? Like as far as did anything ever manifest from that? Like artwork for anybody or
Well, I went to school for graphic design. That's what I went to school for. But
okay.
I didn't graduate, so I didn't come out with a degree.
It's okay.
Um, but nah, just
No.
nothing. Nah, no, not really nothing. No,
No.
not
Okay,
with, not
okay,
with that.
okay.
Yeah,
Just curious,
yeah.
trying to see what you did. But so man, I want to talk about 2025, but now we can't get there yet. So talk to me then, um, as far as what people know or have seen ULTRAMAG online and everything that you've been doing with the videos, right?
hmm
And the mashups and stuff like that. For those who don't know, make sure to go check out ULTRAMAG7 on Instagram and you'll know what we're talking about. You know, he does these mashups with certain songs and videos, whether they're cartoons, sometimes it could be like commercials, right? And stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which are really dope. But were you ever into doing editing? Were you ever into doing anything having to do with videos? Or did this nothing? So not at all.
Bro,
Okay.
okay.
So
I'll tell you, you'll understand the second one when I say this. But
okay.
okay, this was crazy. Shout out to my man Rocky. My man Rocky said, "Yo, you got to get on Instagram." He's like, "There's girls there." I'm like, "Word?"
Okay.
This is me, bro. I'm stupid. I'm thinking I'm going to get on Instagram. It's going to be like girls greeting me at the door. Like, welcome to Instagram.
Yeah.
So I get on there. I'm like, it's just photos. This is going back 5-6 years ago, or I mean, not even
Right.
further than that. Maybe
For
10.
like, yeah, like in the beginning, it was
Yeah,
mainly like pictures.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just would keep it on the side. And I was so used at the time to Facebook. So I'm used to people typing and leaving paragraphs.
Launched.
And,
Okay.
and I'm seeing people just putting like thumb up emojis. I'm like, "Yo, like, what is this?" And I remember one of my boys at the time, he would put up photos and have music playing behind it.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, I want to do that. Because I was like, yo, I want to put a picture of Ultramagnetic and play Ease Back. And just, that was going to be my
Like,
post.
right.
I couldn't figure out how he did it. And then, we come from the age of not biting. So I wasn't going to ask him, like, yo, how'd you do that? Just so I could do it.
Just so you could do the same, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So one day he posted one and it had a watermark on it. So it had the app he was using.
Okay.
And I was like, oh. So I looked up the app, got it, downloaded, opened it up. Bro, I looked at it. It looked like Chinese. I said, what is this? And I was like, I don't get it. And I deleted it. Then I found something simpler, and it was like 15 seconds, but it wouldn't let you edit where to start the song. You just had to start it wherever it was at.
Okay.
So I was like, I used to do that. And then he made a post, and he had a 30-second post. I said, yo, how you get 30 seconds? And then I saw he had that watermark. I said, oh, he got the Chinese app again. So, so I went back, saw the app, and I forced myself to use it. So I started using that.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, I was like, yo, there was a song, the very first song, it was this dude named Killer Ben. And he had in the middle of his song, there was an interlude from Good Times. And it was, what was it? It was like Michael talking to his mom or something, but it was like a piece. And I just had his album cover. And then I went into the video and then went back to the album cover. Bro, this must have took me 3 days just to line it up. I was like, I couldn't get it. But I finally got it, and I posted it. And I was like, oh, okay, that was okay. A couple people liked it, and I didn't have no followers then. I just friends and people I work with, but people liked it. And then what I started doing, actually, I'm gonna tell you this. So this is the second part. This is even before that. Your man, Sincere, is the one who really, really got me going because
Okay.
I discovered Sincere during the pandemic, and
Yes, me too.
yeah, and he would be on every night interviewing and talking to different artists. So I would. This is when we was on lockdown, so I would just
Yeah,
tune in.
yeah.
That was the highlight of my night. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get some food and I'm gonna tune in because Prince Poe's on tonight or whatever,
Yeah.
and this is
Mm-hmm.
my night. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but then when I started following Sincere, I was seeing all the memorabilia he had. And the things that really got
Yeah.
me were the cassettes and the magazines. I was like, yo, I still got that source from
Mm-hmm.
1980, 1990 and all this.
Okay.
So
Right.
when
Oh
I
man,
saw that,
don't even talk about this, bro. You know what? Let me just say, I have to say that me and him used to talk about this all the time. I had, I think, almost every Source magazine and Double XL magazine.
mm-hmm,
I hate talking about it, but
I know,
I
bro.
had it for so long, and every time I moved or whatever, I carried it with me. It was everywhere I went. I don't know what got into me, bro, one day. And I'm like, man, what am I doing with all these magazines? It's
Right.
just taking up space. I don't know, I didn't, I didn't, I didn't think
Oh,
of the significance of
I
holding on
know
to
it, bro.
those, and I got rid of them.
I know it, bro. I
I
know it.
got rid of them. And then you fast forward to years later, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Everybody's posting this. They're hard to find. It's a
Yeah,
big deal now. I had all of,
it's rough,
dude,
bro. It's rough.
dude.
It's rough. I got to say this. This is just a conversation I had yesterday. You know Mr. Len from Company Flow, right? Mr. Len,
Yeah, I got a
that's my
funny story about them. Yeah. Go
that's
ahead,
my
go ahead.
man. So I was talking to him yesterday. I don't know how we got on. We talk about Swatch watches. I lie to you not. Every birthday,
Mhm.
Christmas, I would get a Swatch watch. I had
Really
enough
nice.
swatches. I used to make a belt out of them. Used to wear them.
What? Yeah.
So they had the limited edition Keith Haring swatches that
Yo,
came
that's the
out.
one I'm thinking of. As soon as
Bro,
you said Swatch.
bro, I had two of them. I don't know where they went. When I was on the phone with Lang yesterday, I looked them joints up. $10,000 to $15,000.
Doesn't it make you sick though, man?
Bro, sick to my
Like the
stomach.
thing is, yo, like the thing even when I looked up the Raekwon, like if I had it, it's not like I wouldn't sell it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that I would have it, I have kids, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, and I don't know if they would, but I'm just saying it's just the fact that see, because that's why I admire people that collect. Like me and Sincerity would have these conversations because,
Mm-hmm.
when you collect, whether you have stuff from when it actually came out or
Mm-hmm.
whether they're posters, or you're hustling to who has this and who has that and you're getting it. um for me it was more like if I had something when it came out, I used to try holding on to it because for me
Right.
it was like I got the cassette. Like I remember when it came out, I remember walking to the store to buy it, and so I
Mm-hmm.
still look at it, you know what I mean? Like it's just, so I never thought about collecting. For me it was just more like I had things
Yeah.
that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it hurts when something like my Raekwon is missing. Anyway, man, I
Yeah.
just sorry I had to interrupt that,
No,
but
bro.
so you're talking about the about Sincere, about the collecting, and
Yeah.
you're like, yo,
Yeah.
I got this, I got the cassette. So go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So,
Take it from there.
so I would see what he was doing, like with the things he was doing. But again, we don't come from the era of biting, so I'm not just going to start showing
Mm-hmm.
my magazines and stuff. I was like, I got to figure it. This was back 5 years ago, and for some reason, because maybe it was just the algorithm, I was following hip hop pages, but I felt like there was some type of community because I was
Mm-hmm.
seeing different pages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I said, there's got to be a way I got to enter into this. So I would do, after I did the video I told you about,
Mm-hmm.
I would do what at the time I would call Mashup, and I would
Okay.
take two songs that had like a common bridge. So
Okay.
let's say LL Cool J's "I'm Bad," and then Chubb Rock's your bad chubs. So when he
Yeah.
gets to the chorus, it's like,
That. Mm-hmm.
So I would take LL's video up to when he goes, and then I would chop it right there and put Chubb's video.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I did that, people loved it. People were liking it. So I was doing those. Like I did Dougie Fresh and what's the name? Digital Underground. I see guys and girls dance, like, from Do What You Like.
Yes.
So I was doing that, and I said, this is great. I said, but I'm going to run out of material. Not necessarily songs that have bridges, but all these songs didn't have videos. So I was like, I'm going to run out of material. So then it came to my head, a friend of mine was saying, yo, there's so many hip hop songs that have references to like pop culture and this. And then I remember there was a video. He's my homeboy now, but I don't know if you know who Dylan is. But he's like a MC, DJ, chef. He dresses up in a lobster costume. He's this dude named Lobster Diamonds. He's ill. He's super ill.
But he's on he's like on Instagram and everything.
Yeah. He's on. If you I think if you go to I think it says Dylan Mara or Dylan Von Mara, whatever. It's either his full name.
Sounds familiar, man. I'm sure I've seen. Yeah.
You've seen him.
Okay.
And then he runs a record label called Full Plate. But he had did a video years ago. He had this song called Space Pimpin', and it was Space Pimpin' remix. Him and this dude named Bat Sauce. This guy works with Bat Sauce, producer. And they took all these Star Trek episodes and cut them up because it's called Space Pimpin'. So, like Kirk's like the space pimp getting all the ladies.
Right. Yeah.
So I saw that video and I was like, yo, how come nobody does this? And I figured nobody did it because it was hard for them to chop it up and keep it going. But so listen, I'm friends with him now. I tell him all the time, like, yo, man, I bet your style. Like, I get my style straight from you. And we had him on his C-Doc one time.
Okay.
And I've told him a million times, but I told him, I was like, yeah, I get my style from you. He was like, no, you don't. I said, I've told you. He was like, yeah, I just wanted you to say. He was just being funny.
Give me my crown.
Yeah. But
okay.
So
you take it for okay.
So then I was like, yo, I'm going to start making my own videos using footage. But the way that I like to do it versus what I saw other people, I just see people that would have it dead on with the lyrics, but they were taking 50, 70 different shows. Like it would be Different Strokes. It would be Speed Racer just to get everything in order. I'm like, number one, it was too jumbled for me. And I was like, it's too much work. So I try to keep it in the same universe when I do it. And so I just started doing those. And like, there was Milo the Cat was doing cartoons. So I was like, I wasn't really into cartoons. Yeah. So I was doing like, I started thinking like all the stuff I grew up with, TV shows, cartoons later, but movies and, all that type of stuff. So commercials, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it comes from.
So that's okay. So that's how you get. Now, did you get? So I mean, but what was it that gave you that initial? Because of course, you said your man introduced you to Instagram. It's just pictures, this and that. But and then you mentioned seeing Sincere. So what was it that? What was it really that gave you that urge to even want to find something, a niche to kind of like have an identity, I guess, on Instagram as opposed to just, just being somebody that posts randomly on Instagram. Like what was it that made you like, yo, I want to have something that I could get known for, or that people go to my page and know like that's me.
I think it was, like I said, I could see that there was this
community.
There was a community, but it was also actually even going back a few years before that. I used to post on my Facebook page. I used to just post rap videos. And then, but I'm like, I know I'm annoying people because I'm putting like 70 videos of, I'm posting videos from 88 and it's like 2011. These people don't care about this stuff. And so I joined this hip hop group online called the HHDG, Hip Hop Discussion Group. And so I was around people that were talking hip hop and this was my home. But when I got on Instagram, it wasn't really like a group, but I'm like, how do I create my own little following,
Okay,
and
to
it's
fit in,
yeah,
or
like
not to fit in, but I mean to be a part of the community of what you were seeing
yeah,
and bring something to the table of
yeah,
those.
and
Gotcha,
it was kind of
gotcha,
like also my way
gotcha.
because I told you I wasn't rhyming anymore, so it was my
Mm-hmm.
way of expressing hip hop, and it was my way of letting people know this is what I know, this is my knowledge, this is what I like, this is what I love, and just all of
Gotcha,
that came coming out.
gotcha, gotcha. How long? Like, you don't have to go too into detail as far as your process of making the videos, but
Mm-hmm.
once you have, for example, like, and I don't know, you tell me which way you do this, but let's just say if it's a song, let's just say that comes to your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I want to do something with that.
Right.
How long does it take you about between the time you have the song, you get the parts, and then finding the footage that you want to use and piece together? Like, how long can one video take you to make about?
It usually, okay, I'll give you the process kind of quick, two ways, and they're the same way but reverse. Sometimes I hear a song and I always listen to the lyrics. I listen to the lyrics. So the lyrics will make me think of something I've seen. Oh no, that sounds like a piece of this movie. Like the MC said, yo, I kicked the guy going down the stairs. I remember a movie where a guy kicked the guy going down the stairs. And
Okay.
sometimes the whole video will be predicated on just that part. And then I got to fill everything around it. Or I'll
Okay.
be watching a movie or a TV show or old cartoon or something, and I'll see that, and what they're doing will make me think of the lyrics
Of a
of a song.
song.
So it's kind, either way.
It works either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you find yourself um working like? Do you just let it come to you? Like, in other words, like if something comes to you, it's like, okay, let me do it. Or do you find yourself like, man, I haven't done one in a while, and you're like searching to create something. You know what I mean? As opposed to like how you said, the way you kind of described it now, it seems like it just comes organic. Like you might be
Mm-hmm.
watching something, listening to something, but do you find yourself where you're like, oh man, I haven't posted in like a week or 2 days. Let me find something.
Usually, what happens is, there'll be some days I wake up. It's like 5 a.m. And usually some days I'll do stuff a couple days ahead of time and have videos
And have
stashed.
it done.
But I wake up, I got nothing. And I swear, sometimes I'll do one before I get out of bed. Be like, yo, I'll have I'll just think of something. And
Right.
but I think it really comes from just knowing like these lyrics and knowing where to pull from pop culture. But I'll give you this. I just did a video for my man Dave Sy. He's got a record coming out. I think in August. So
Mm-hmm.
he wanted me to do a video for him. So I was discussing with him like, well, yo, what do you want? Because I want to give people. He was paying, so I'm like, yo, what do you want? He was like, yo, do your thing, do the ultra thing. Because I talk with people, and he was like, do the ultra thing. I said, okay. So this was like in May, that we talked about it. And so like a month went by, and I couldn't really think of nothing. I'm like, he already paid me. I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he hit me up one day. He's like, yeah, the album's coming out in August. I'm like, okay. He gave me the idea, but he was probably fishing to be like, where are you? So I was like,
Yeah, like,
so I was like, all right, I got to get on this. And I knew what I wanted to use, but there was a movie of it. There was a movie called Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and there was a movie of it. And I was thinking that, but then they recently came out with a Scott Pilgrim cartoon, and everybody likes the cartoons, like when they're lip
mm-hmm.
syncing and say your songs. So I said, "Yo, let me check out the cartoon." So then once I saw the cartoon, I'm like, "Oh, that's a bet." So I ran through it, did it, sent it to him. He loves it. I'm like, so that one was just the
You had to
idea. I just wasn't
think of
motivated. But once I
right,
get
right,
once I
right.
get into it, I was like, I mean, till I'm done. Yeah.
Right. So got you. So when it kind of comes to you, because it's fun for you at the same
Oh,
time, I'm
it's
assuming,
fun.
right?
It's
Because
fun.
you're thinking that it just comes naturally. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I would say one of the things is it's also a challenge, and I like it because it's like, how do I make this episode of what's happening mixed with a Coogee rap song? Like just say something like that.
Yeah,
Like so
yeah.
when it finally comes together, I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, okay, that was pretty good. Like so that I like the challenge of it.
You you see, not that you see him, from everything that I've been watching, and even like I said, like when I see you on the others, on CDoc and other stuff, um, you have a lot kept up here as far as, you know, memories of artists, albums, songs, this, that, things that happen,
Right.
um, which I'm not that good at, to be honest with you. Like I remember things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not like sometimes I have to go back and be like, wait a minute, what was it that came out at that time again? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you seem to be kind of quick with it. You know what I mean? If at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming also helps you when you're doing these videos to come
Hmm.
up with like you were saying, like, oh, I remember this song that has that. Uh, did you wait? Is that naturally? Like, is that just because you just have a great memory, or are you someone that you just kind of go back and do homework and just kind of, you know what I mean? Like, or
Well,
do you just retain these things in your mind?
yo, my mom
Because
rest her.
even now, talking to you now, you're just rattling off like, yeah, you know, I was listening to this person and that person and this one, and some of the things is like, you know, some things I might be like, wait, I remember that, but and then you say something, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember.
Yeah.
You're rattling stuff off like nothing. Like,
I just, I guess my mom, rest her soul, she used to be like, yo, if you knew your books, like you knew that rap stuff that you listening to,
okay,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was always the guy, like, I got the record. I'm looking at who was the engineer, where they
Mm-hmm,
recorded it. And
mm-hmm,
sometimes they would do the etchings in the groove. I'm looking at what they said. I'm looking on the back, who's the shout outs.
mm-hmm,
When we started having magazines, like I'm looking at the yo, this person's down with this. So I just soaked all that stuff up. Like, um, there's weird shout outs that you would see, and I would connect them
mm-hmm.
to somebody later, like, yo, you got it, just weird
Yeah,
hip
yeah,
hop
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I've always been intrigued by all that minutia of hip hop,
Mm-hmm,
all the just the
mm-hmm.
little thing, like little things in hip hop get me,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
wanting to know, like we were talking earlier before
Mm-hmm.
that, we was talking about, I would look at the MF Doom 12 inches said recorded at Webb's crib. Like
Mm.
that's the stuff I was looking at.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then and but again, you have a good, you have a good memory to
Yeah.
retain all of that stuff, which is cool because I'm sure you fast forward to now, you find yourself doing these different podcasts, different
Yeah.
shows, talking to a lot of different
Yeah.
people. I'm sure you're like,
Ye-
man, it was worth something. Ma, it was worth something.
yeah.
That's cool, but you just mentioned Doom.
Hmm.
And I want to say, man, some of my favorite joints that you've done, some of your, mashups and videos,
Yeah.
a lot of them are the Doom ones.
Yes.
And I've noticed you have quite a few on there, man, and I
Yes.
enjoy those a lot.
Thank you.
Um, so were you always a fan? Were you always a fan of like MF Doom, or even going back? Because I even saw you had like Third Base you've done.
Hmm.
You've had like KMD. Like, were you always a fan from day one?
Bro, I remember the very first the
I
very
really don't
first
like using the word fan, man, but I
yeah,
mean,
no,
people, you know what I
yeah.
mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember the very first time I saw the Gas Face video. So I saw, as you would say, Doom and Heem. I seen them in the video. And
Mm-hmm.
it was funny. I wear glasses, but I had glasses like Doom. I was skinnier than like Doom. And
Okay.
I was seeing his style. I'm like, yo. So I was biting off Doom. I'm like, yo, his style, the way he looked at it, I'm like, yo, that's the way I'm gonna look. That type of thing. So after
Right.
the Gas Face came out, and then I was waiting for. Matter of fact, it was May 14th, 1991. Two records came out that day: De La Soul and KMD. I got them both. I went to the store, got them both, and
Okay.
I was like, which one I'm gonna listen to first? Listen to both, and they were both incredible records. And so I was big fan of Doom, Sub, Onyx. I love KMD. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Man, that's interesting. That's interesting that you bought both those because, man, that's kind of interesting, man. I never even really thought about the fact of those two coming out, and you
yeah,
had the Daylight, which was, Prince Paul, man,
hmm
and the skits and everything,
yes,
and then KMD, you know, they kind of had like the skits and like
They
you
both
know,
told
very,
stories. They
very
both told
two
stories.
stories.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you got both of them too on the same day. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you know,
You know what's so funny?
obviously,
I hate to cut you, but
no,
about
no.
those
Go ahead.
records, there's still things that I heard on those records that I still say to this day. Like when they had when they was talking to Mr. Hood and it was Onyx. He was like, toothbrush, toothpaste. I still say that today. Like there's stuff that
Yeah,
happens on like the De La record, like that they
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah,
Like I still say that
yeah,
stuff to the friends that understand.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we'll
yeah, yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's that stuff
Yeah, yeah.
just stuck with me.
We used to use the from the daylight when oh man, was it it wasn't really oh my god, damn, I can't remember now, but it was one part where they say something like I think it's like use a little bit of soap
Yeah.
or something, right? We used to say that every time, you know, like back if
Yeah.
somebody was a little funky or something like that, we used to
Yeah.
say that part all the time, man. You're
Yeah.
right, yeah. There's little nuances and things that they would damn, yeah. It's funny when I hear somebody like yourself right now talking about like KMD and the album and the skits and that you remember. I mean, I
Oh.
know there's a lot of people out there that do.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's because because I know them.
Yeah.
When I hear someone, sometimes I still to this day I still be like, damn, yeah, you remember those skits and like you know what I mean? It's still a little, it's cool,
Bro.
man.
I yeah.
So okay, so obviously I see, you know, it influenced. Now what about when they? Let me ask you. So when MF Doom comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware right away that that was the same person?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, I know exactly how it happened. Again, magazines. It was a magazine called On the Go. And it's like, you know,
Okay.
graffiti magazine, but it had hip
Yeah,
hop
yeah, yeah,
stuff in
yeah.
there. And I remember opening it up and it had it's like MF Doom had these records. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the reviews, and they were saying that, yo, this was Zev Love X. And I was like, oh, word? I was like, oh, they back? Like, okay. So at this time I was living in Philly, and Bobito had footwork. He had a footwork in Philly too.
Oh
A
yeah,
shop
yeah,
in
yeah,
Philly.
yeah, yeah.
So I went down there because I knew it was on Fondlem. I knew he had Fondlem. So I went down there, and every time Doom came out with a new 12-inch, bro, I had what was that first one? He is the super, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my
yeah,
God,
it's
super ho.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. Um,
Super. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I got that. I remember
Yeah.
Red and Gold when they came out. The mic, like I would get all those singles, and
Mm-hmm.
then I remember it was like, yo, they're coming out with the album. And
Mm-hmm.
then I bought the CD. Yo, this is the one thing I'm mad about. I had her on its C-Doc again, and I brought up to her. I gave it to Princess Superstar. I gave her my Fondlem Operation Doomsday CD. She's like, I still got it. I said, I know you got it because I gave it to you.
Oh wow. Ah, that's
But
crazy.
it's all good.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
That's cool,
I
man.
read it in the
Yeah.
magazine,
You
and
read it in the
then
magazine.
when I got the record, I was like, oh, this is incredible. And I'm like, I just every time they would come out till the record came out, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I was stuck because it was totally different, and I could see the direction where and I'm a big comic book fan, so I was seeing everything he was doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Put a little pause
Mm-hmm.
on the Doom conversation, all that, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that though.
no doubt.
Um, when we first started, I started off by saying, man, who would think that you would have somebody that we looked up to mention your name
Mm.
on a pretty big platform, right? And I'm talking about Ralph McDaniels, Uncle Ralph, Video Music Box, on the
Bro,
Math Hoffa show. Shout out to Uncle Ralph. Shout out to Math Hoffa. Um, yeah, he's having a nice conversation, and then just loosely, you know, in that conversation, one of the Instagram accounts that he mentions that he's following is ULTRAMAG.
crazy.
Um, did you were you watching? Like, did you watch the interview and so happened to hear him say that, or did you catch it after the fact? Like, talk to me about that whole thing and how did you feel hearing Ralph mention?
So I used, I used to watch Math Hoffa, but some of the episodes are so long, you do different things. So
Same
that
thing. Yep,
that
yep.
episode I hadn't watched, and then somebody, I think I put up I put up one of my videos, and somebody's like, "Yo, that was a dope mention on Math Hoffa." I'm like, huh? I was like, "Oh, they're not talking to me." And then I think he said it. He said it again or something, and I was like, "Huh?" And I think I inboxed him. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yo, Ralph McDaniels, he mentioned you on Math Hoffa." I'm like, "What?" So then I'm like, now I gotta watch the whole episode because I'm like, how do I know where it was?
Where, right.
So I'm watching the episode, and then I get to a point. It's getting to the end, and then Ralph McDaniels mentions the name Aaron. So my real name is Aaron. So I was like, oh, I'm like, that ain't me. He talking about somebody else. And so some reason I kept on watching it. It's in like the last 3 to 4 minutes of the show. So we're talking like
You have to watch the whole hour and some change or whatever that was. Yeah,
and then finally I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, I was like, yo. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like crazy.